this is your girl Wakeji Kamore, and welcome to Reflections by Wakeji Kamore. All right, so we are continuing with this book of First Kings. I really like this book. I think it's quite interesting. It's an interesting book. It's good to just hear about the stories of King Solomon and the things that he is accomplishing in his kingdom. All right, so today we're going to be covering chapter 5, which I will be reading from the NLT version, which is a New Living Translation version. It only has 18 verses. That is why I'm so excited about reading it. I know there's a chapter that will come that has like 65 verses, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll still be excited. All right, so if you're here for the very first time, please subscribe. Please click the notification bell so that you don't miss any recording that I put up. So anyway, I'm going to be reading the 18 verses, and then after that, I'm going to be sharing my lessons from this chapter, and hopefully that we will all learn together. All right, let's do this. So this chapter has a subtitle, Preparations for Building the Temple. You guys remember that David wanted to build God a temple because he felt like, but I'm living in a good palace, but now God is living there, like the Ark of the Covenant is living in a tent. I don't like that. Can I build God a temple? But God told him, you will not be the one building the temple, but your son Solomon will come and build me the temple. So now Solomon is like, it is time to prepare to start building this temple of God. All right, so let's read. He says, King Hiram of Tyre had always been a very loyal friend of David. When Hiram learned that David's son Solomon was a new king of Israel, he sent ambassadors to congratulate him. Then Solomon sent this message back to Hiram. You know that my father David was not able to build a temple to honor the name of the Lord his God because of the many wars waged against him by the surrounding nations. He could not build until the Lord had given him victory over all his enemies. But now the Lord my God has given me peace on every side. I have no enemies and all is well. So I'm planning to build a temple to honor the name of the Lord my God, just as he had instructed my father, David. For the Lord told him, your son, whom I will place on the throne, will build the temple to honor my name. Therefore, please command the cedars from Lebanon to be cut for me. Let my men work alongside yours, and I will pay your men whatever wages you ask. As you know, there is no one among us who can cut timber like you Sidonians. When Hiram received Solomon's message, he was very pleased and said, praise the Lord today for giving David a wise son to be king of the great nation of Israel. Then he sent his reply to Solomon. I have received your message, and I will supply all the cedar and all the cypress timber you need. My servants will bring the logs from Lebanon mountains to the Mediterranean Sea and make them into rafts and float them along the coast to whatever place you choose. Then we will break the rafts apart so you can carry the logs away. You can pay me by supplying me with food for my household. So Hiram supplied as much cedar and cypress timber as Solomon desired. In return, Solomon sent him an annual payment of 100,000 bushels of wheat for his household and 101 gallons of pure olive oil. 110,000 gallons of pure olive oil. You guys, I'm thinking how much olive oil costs. This is 110,000 gallons of pure olive oil. So the Lord gave wisdom to Solomon, just as he had promised, and Hiram and Solomon made a formal alliance of peace. Then King Solomon conscripted a labor force of 30,000 men from all Israel. He sent them to Lebanon in shifts, 10,000 every month, so that each man would be. Okay, let me just repeat that from verse 13. Then King Solomon conscripted a labor force of 30,000 men from all Israel. He sent them to Lebanon in shift, 10,000 every month, so that each man would be 1 month in Lebanon and 2 months at home. Adoniram was in charge of this labor force. Solomon also had 70,000 common laborers, 80,000 quarry workers in the hill country, and 3,600 foremen to supervise the work. And at the king's command, They quarried large rock blocks of high-quality stone and shaped them to make the foundation of the temple. Men from the city of Gebal helped Solomon, and Hiram's builders prepared the timber and the stone for the temple. First, I really like the fact that these guys would work for 1 month and rest for 2 months. Like, where on earth does that happen? Nowhere. But I like the fact that Solomon realized the importance of rest and importance of a man to being with his family. You know, he's not just out there working, but he's here with his family for even longer than he's taking away to go and work. But anyway, one of the lessons that I learned from this chapter is that asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but it's a sign of wisdom. I mean, Solomon could have as well sent his people there and commandeered for them to cut the cedar and the cypress trees, but he asked for help. He was like, nobody cuts trees as great as the Sidonians. So let me ask their king, who is King Hiram, to go and ask them to cut for me the timber that I need. So asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom, because you can't really do everything and you're not gifted in everything. There are people who are gifted in different things. This reminds me of how people build houses and then they decide they will chora the plans for themselves, or they say, I have someone who can do it cheaper, and then things end up looking really bad. Or they construct a house and then they don't involve an interior designer, and then now the house looks bad and you spend so much money and you bought the wrong tiles, and now your house looks like some gothic thing is happening there, especially with the tiles and with the lights, with the, you know? I'm like, no, let us ask for help, especially if you know that this specific person is skilled for this specific, task. Then ask for their help and give them the work. Don't try and do everything by yourself. The second lesson is that rest is just as important as work. As a matter of fact, in this chapter, we see people resting more than they were working, because they were working away for 1 month and being home for 2 months. I also learned that work divided is work done easy, or rather work made easy. And the fact that the foundation of this temple was costly. The foundation of the things, let's say the foundation of your business, the foundation of your, of your future, like let's say the values that you instill in your children need to be costly. They cost you. It's not, foundation is not cheap. Foundation is costly. Foundation of anything is costly. Ya nyumba, ya maisha, ya biashara, foundation, ya relationship, foundations are costly. So anyway, those are the lessons that I have picked from chapter 5. I hope that you have picked your own lessons. If you're willing, kindly share them in the comment section so that we can all learn. This has been your girl, Wakeji Kamore, and this is Reflections by Wakeji Kamore.